Why do we regret selling a car long after the financial transaction is complete and the vehicle is gone? This isn't merely about monetary loss. It's a profound psychological experience rooted in our human tendency to imbue objects with deep personal meaning. A car, often seen as mere utility, transcends its function to become a powerful symbol of self, freedom, and personal history. Drawing from existential philosophy, objects participate in our being in the world, becoming extensions of our very being. The car isn't just transportation, it's the vehicle of first dates, road trips, family adventures, and silent contemplations. Each scratch, dent, and faded interior detail holds a narrative, a fragment of one's life story. Selling such an object can feel like a symbolic amputation of a part of oneself, a severance from a tangible link to a past self. This isn't merely nostalgia, it's a form of grief for a lost identity, a past chapter closed, perhaps prematurely. Psychologically, this relates to object attachment theory, where the car functions as a transitional object, providing comfort and continuity. Like a child's favorite blanket, the car provides a sense of security, familiarity, and a bridge between inner and outer worlds. We experience cognitive dissonance when the rational decision to sell clashes with the emotional void left behind. This void touches upon our profound human need for continuity and the fear of losing tangible anchors to our personal narrative. These anchors, whether a car, a house, or even a worn-out book, provide a sense of stability in an ever-changing world. Thus, regret over a sold car isn't a flaw, but a deep-seated response to the loss of a significant piece of one's lived history. But what happens when this profound connection between self and object is abruptly severed by the forces of modern life? This feeling of regret isn't a flaw, it's a profound reaction to losing a significant piece of your life's history. This chapter delves into the psychological and philosophical roots, explaining why we feel regret when selling a car. Far beyond financial value, this speaks to a deep human tendency imbuing objects with personal meaning. A car, often seen as just a machine, transcends its function to become a powerful symbol of identity, freedom, and personal history. Drawing from existential philosophy, we explore the concept of being in the world and how objects play a role in our lived experience. A car isn't just a mode of transportation, it's the vessel for first dates, long road trips. It serves as a companion on family adventures, daily commutes, and during moments of quiet reflection. Every scratch, dent, and faded interior detail holds a story, a piece of the puzzle that is your life. Selling such an object can feel like losing a limb, a severance from your past self. It is a break from who you once were and the precious memories you used to cherish. This isn't merely nostalgia, it's a form of grief for a lost identity, a chapter of the past that ended too soon. Psychologically, this relates to object attachment theory, where the car serves as a transitional object. We experience cognitive dissonance when the rational decision to sell clashes with the emotional void left behind. This void speaks to a deep human need for continuity and the fear of losing tangible anchors to our personal narrative. This chapter lays the groundwork for understanding that regret isn't a mistake. It's a profound response to losing a part of your identity. Regret isn't merely missing a car, it's a phantom limb ache for roads untraveled, for futures we discarded with a single choice. This isn't buyer's remorse, it's seller's sorrow, a profound emotional echo from severing a tangible link to our past selves. Every what-if scenario whispers of lost adventures, questioning the wisdom of our decisions, amplifying the perceived cost of letting go. A car, often a symbol of freedom, represents not just travel, but myriad potential experiences, now forever beyond our grasp. Each choice carries the inherent weight of unchosen paths. Selling a car closes off not just a vehicle, but countless existential possibilities. The act of selling is a definitive severance, reinforcing the finality of time's passage, closing chapters that perhaps felt unfinished. Nostalgia, in this context, becomes bittersweet. It's not just fondness, but a yearning for a feeling, a a state of being now irrecoverable. This triggers counterfactual thinking, mentally replaying the decision, imagining alternative outcomes, fueling a cycle of self-blame. Memory and emotion intertwine, amplifying the perceived value of what was lost, distorting the reality of the decision's original logic. Society often frames regret as a negative emotion to be avoided, a sign of weakness, rather than a profound human experience. Yet, philosophically, regret can be a powerful teacher, revealing what truly matters to us, illuminating our deepest values. Grappling with regret means accepting the inevitability of unchosen paths, recognizing the inherent burden of human freedom. Stoicism teaches us to discern what's within our control from what is not. Past choices are done, only our present reaction remains. Modern psychology, too, advocates mindful acceptance of past choices, acknowledging the emotion without letting it define our worth. But how do we transform this paralyzing regret into a catalyst for deeper self-understanding and more conscious future decision-making? This journey into regret isn't about wallowing in the past. It's about dissecting the echoes of our choices, understanding their profound impact. Beyond buyer's remorse, there's a unique ache: the seller's regret. It's not just missing a car, but the unseen futures it promised. The what-if scenarios haunt us: roads not taken, adventures forsaken. Each choice leaves countless unchosen paths behind. Existential freedom gifts us choice, yet burdens us with responsibility. Even small decisions carry the weight of infinite possibilities lost. Selling that car was a definitive severance, a closing door on potential experiences, reinforcing time's relentless, forward march. Then comes nostalgia, a bittersweet ache. Not just for the car, but for the feeling, the irrecoverable state of being it represented. This yearning fuels counterfactual thinking, mentally replaying the decision, imagining alternative outcomes, breeding self-blame. Memory and emotion intertwine, amplified by cognitive biases, distorting reality. The lost car's value inflates in retrospect. Society often labels regret as weakness, an emotion to be avoided, a negative feedback loop, trapping us in the past. Yet, philosophically, regret is a powerful teacher. It reveals what truly matters, illuminating our deepest, often hidden, values. Grappling with regret means accepting unchosen paths. Stoicism teaches us to discern what's in your control, accept what is not. Modern psychology advocates mindful acceptance. Acknowledge the emotion, yes, but don't let it define your inherent worth. This is the transformation, turning paralyzing regret into a catalyst, a force for deeper self-understanding, not self-condemnation. It informs conscious future decisions, guiding us to align choices with our rediscovered values. Learning, growing, moving forward. Embrace the inherent burden and beauty of human freedom. Every choice, every regret, shapes the masterpiece of your unique existence.